I'm Ellie Bland, and as of November the 6th last year, I had quite a bit of persecution from the media, all over an email that I never sent, and neither was I ever asked if I did send it, except by the media. The very party that suspended me, the Conservative Party, never asked me if I sent it, and after a while everything quietened down. Until February this year, when several months had passed and the police decided I was to be interviewed, but I was only invited for interview as to whether I could answer some questions as I'd upset a member of the public, apparently, whilst being interviewed on TV. So I went along, being a good citizen, and was told I wasn't being arrested, just interviewed by invitation. However, when I arrived, I was then asked to give my DNA, my height, a photograph and fingerprints. And when I questioned why, they said that it was something that was just a matter of course and everybody does this these days. CPS would need it should it go to court. What if it didn't go to court, I asked. What would happen to all my documents? Oh, we would destroy them. I sensed a terrible feeling of unrest and unease and decided I wasn't going to go for this. And said, well, being I'm invited, surely I don't have to give it. It actually took me to ring my barrister by mobile phone, who then advised me I didn't have to give it. Also advised me not to give it, and told me to put the police lady on the telephone, which I did. He then reminded her, being I wasn't arrested, I didn't have to do it. At the end of the interview, I was actually cautioned and told again that I would have to give all those items they required if it went to court. Of course it never went to court. The case was never heard because there was no case to answer, and it was in the public interest to carry it forward. So it was a good job I never gave all my fingerprints and DNA, wasn't it? However, only a couple of months before this, I'd been to a Better Off Out meeting and was actually hearing from somebody in Germany how Germany wanted Britain and was trying to encourage Brussels to ask Britain to take part in surrendering all their fingerprints and DNA that were stored here and share it with other countries. What a good job I didn't. It wasn't something I wanted to do, and I would caution everybody to take legal advice before being asked to do so in the future. When I was being interviewed by Sky News and other national television coverage and newspaper coverage, I was asked the same thing every time. Didn't I think this email, which I hadn't sent, was offensive? And considering that they all published it on the news and in the newspapers, was actually putting it in the face of everybody. So therefore I wasn't in control of that, but I was being asked, did I find it offensive? And I said it wasn't wrong to say no to anybody entering the country who had no right to be here. And likewise, it wasn't wrong to say no if we had no room to be able to sustain any extra people coming in, let alone our own communities. And it was this simple statement, which was anything but just truthfulness. I was then being told I had to go to the police station, give my fingerprints and DNA because I'd upset one person who was the person that wasted vital police resources, using up their time, effort and money, CPS time, effort and money, and my time, effort and money. But no one ever apologised to me. So although she felt I offended her, I actually became the victim for just telling the truth. And I would encourage anyone else who's had similar problems as this to alert the public into their rights and what they shouldn't have to give.